First off, let me be clear. I know that this isn't the type of content that Hi-Rez as a developer wants to have produced. I want you to know though, Hi-Rez, that this video and all of my other videos talking about Paladins comes from a place of love. Paladins is great. In my hopes and dreams, I want it to be a strong title in the hero FPS genre because I enjoy it a lot. I'm not going to mention why OB64 is bad, not even once. There are so many videos, forum posts, tweets, comments. You can go check out that information for yourself if you really want to, if you don't know yet. It is the single most hated thing in Paladins thus far as I can see. Instead, I'm here to talk about why OB64 is a puzzle piece in a greater picture that shows a very concerning trend for Paladins and for Hi-Rez studios. So hey, Hi-Rez, grab a seat, let me make you a drink. I'm not an old fan. I've logged only a few games of Smite during the beta. I played just enough tribes to know that I didn't dig it enough to grind the 100 hours that it would have taken for me to be good, and I briefly installed Global Agenda because it was free. I had no preconceived notion of Hi-Rez Studios development practices before I touched Paladins. I installed Paladins in December 2016 during a games night with a friend. We were sat around, we were finished with Age of Empires 2 for the night, and I remember saying, man, just friggin' buy Overwatch because I really wanted to play it. And his reply was, I would if I had the money. Then I thought, hey, Paladins is just a free Overwatch clone, right? So we installed that. I was surprised at how wrong my perception of Paladins had been. After all, I had read the clone comments time and time again on the internet, and the internet is never wrong.
Do not resist the beat.
Where I thought I would find a discount, scuffed Overwatch copy, instead I found a game that could hold its own against Blizzard and Valve's hero shooters. Of course, the game had its own issues, but it was solid. It gripped me so hard that I ended up buying the super big Founders Pack because I wanted to support the developers, their work, and I wanted to see this project prosper. 1 year later, I'm level 36 in game and ranked gold 3 after going 9 and 6 in placements, and I've noticed a trend, Hi-Rez. A concerning trend that has me frustrated and saddened. Hi-Rez, you're making decisions that run counter to what your community wants. The Essence system was the first real major example of this. You added severe gatekeeping to the system that made Paladins most different from its competitors, the ability cards. The Essence system was something that nobody really asked for, nobody wanted, but it was installed anyway. And after a few rounds of tweaking, the community kind of accepted it, some happily and some begrudgingly. Now, with OB64, you have an update that has the whole Paladins player base up in arms. When the community outrage didn't subside with time, you doubled down, providing one of the most memeable quotes since Pride and Accomplishment. The problem isn't even OB64 and the Cards and Bounce system at this point. The issue is that your diehard Paladins fans are turning on you in droves. It's not just the hardcore fanbase that's hating on OB64, it's everywhere. Casual fans on Facebook, on Twitter, in the Steam forums, they're all echoing the sentiment that OB64 should be cancelled, that it's a mistake that will drive them away. And so we come to my point. As a smaller developer with a smaller game that already has a negative reputation in the general gaming community, you cannot afford to let this happen, Hi-Rez. Your diehard fans, the community that has sprung up around Paladins, have to talk favorably about the game if it's going to grow. If you want the general gaming community's understanding of what Paladins is to switch off of Overwatch clone at any point in time, you gotta have your fans talking favorably about your game and what you're doing. You gotta have your wonderful fan artists pumping out high quality fan art of your characters. You gotta have your mainstay Paladins content creators streaming the game, writing about the game, making videos about the game on YouTube. And right now, large portions from all of these groups are leaving. They're mad, they feel betrayed. And where once they were going into the general gaming community and saying, hey, Paladins is great. It's really different from any other hero FPS. You gotta give it a try. Now they're saying how awful a new update is, how it made them uninstall, how they feel unheard or ignored by the developer, how they feel betrayed, and how great Battlerite is, which provides an amazing example of what I'm talking about. Battlerite has done an absolutely tremendous job of existing within the MOBA genre, but differentiating itself from the titans enough to draw its own fanbase. You could also look at Fortnite in the Battle Royale market, or Rainbow Six Siege in the classic squad-based shooter genre. All of these games have done an amazing job of positively differentiating themselves from competitors and developing smaller but amazingly passionate communities that will spread the good word. So here's my 11th hour plea. No matter what you guys think about OB64 internally, please recognize that the Cards Unbound system will do nothing but damage to your game's core community, your game's player base, and ergo, your bottom line. Canceling this update is my huge, totally impossible request. But hey, it's Christmas. A kid can dream, right? It's not enough for Paladins to be Overwatch but free. It has more than that at its core, and doesn't deserve to be relegated with such a description. But if Hi-Rez Studios keeps making choices that are so blatantly against the will of its community, that's all Paladins will ever be.